Oh, I can change that. Okay. Hello, everyone. Welcome back. We are still doing this. Not sure how much more there is to this mod. I've not met Pebbles yet. That is currently the goal. And then I think I'm going to like subterranean depths and that kind of area. I might want to check out Submerged, but I don't know how far I'll be able to make it there. Pipe yard. Pipe yard is an option, I suppose. Okay, so last time I was like super lost in this area. Actually, hold on. What if I didn't go this way? There's an alternate path that requires you get past a scavenger toll. I was thinking, well, I don't have a pearl, but I can just make spears. That's this character's thing. Well, I guess you can make spears, but it's more like you're just covered in spears naturally. And you just take one off at any time. There we go. But they're just very delicate. So I think maybe... Do I have a flower? I don't. Spitter spider. Yeah, it's safe. I don't see any spiders. I guess I should carry around a real spear, because they do a lot more damage. I think this is... Well, I don't know if this is the right way. I have no clue. I stop missing every single spear. Oh, we're still missing. Here's the thing. Flashbangs are not effective against spitters, but they do still blind them, I think. They just don't die. Also, there's a pipe down there. That might be where I want to go. Food still. Can be nice. So there's a path here. Miss everything. The husk. So we are in this area now. I fell down. I don't think I've hit a single spider yet. Do we need any more lantern mice? I guess you can never like accidentally pin something with these spears. That might be a positive. Is that guy dead, or is he just chilling? Oh, the fellows. Hold on. There's no way this works. Oh! Well, this isn't useful. Oh! That scavenger thought that I threw at him. Can't just do this. Like, compared to Saint, I'm not nearly as mobile, but I can still climb some walls. guys done playing with your spider? Also, I don't know where the scavenger toilet is. That's where I wanted to go, but I'm here instead. This might work also. That has to be a lizard. Guys, here, take these spears. They're not very good, but oh, they're cowards. Okay, mouth spears are still like good for stunning. They just don't deal much damage. This path might work. You're gonna throw out the orbs here. Oh, sorry. I was trying to hit this spider. A shelter would be wonderful. Just so I don't have to redo like this entire path again. Is this the wall now? The part of the wall that's still intact? It is. Okay, this should work. There's still lizards here. I don't have enough food. I found a bit of slime mold. Oh, goodbye, overseer. I think there should be food. At least when they're by the next shelter. But it's all like hanging on the ceiling for Saint to grab. That's not useful to me at all. You know how there's like this trend of like every modern game being open world? That's not true at all. But it's more common open world games. Often in like places where they probably don't belong. Nintendo is a big fan of making open world games recently for some reason. And then we're like, hey, maybe you shouldn't make that game an open world. Kind of defeats the purpose. But Railroad is kind of open world, yeah. I'm not exactly sure what the definition is. There we go. It's got a big map to explore, and you can kind of go wherever you want. It's just limited by karma. I think I appreciate what Railroad does a lot more than other games. Although I've not played many other open world games. But from the list of things, there's a lot of like empty space. Okay, here's how to make an open world. Open up like Google Maps, pick like a random location with like a town or city nearby, and just convert it into a 3D model for your map. And there you go, you made an open world. Is it interesting to explore? No. I mean, you can cover it with like a bunch of stuff. Like those are just superficial distractions, you know. The like actual like moving around, like the places that you'll be exploring, they're all just kind of boring, you know. Just like open fields and forests and... Oh my, I'm so glad I didn't die to fall damage. I didn't expect to drop this sudden. Running World is like... Well, you're limited to seeing one screen at a time. So you don't like... You can't stand at the top of a hill and just see like a whole field in front of you and think, wow, look at all this empty space. Because that's what I think about a lot of the time in open world games. Just how much you can see and how much of what you can see is just like, just nothing. Running World's like every screen is full of detail, full of like platforms and creatures and such. And there's so many of them. There's so many rooms. There's so many unique regions. Every region is different, and they're actually like unique environments. Okay, here's like the massive supercomputer that's like low gravity and... What is this? This is a vine? They turned that into a vine? That's funny. Just so you can climb up here. It's like a pole, but angled differently. I think the exploration is like pushed by a desire to see unique environments and not just to like find distractions. Anyway, we're here. Hi. Are you lobotomized? Maybe a little bit. Pearl is not decayed, so this is like before Saint by a decent amount. Nothing else to say. All right. Eat the pearl. I don't know if I want to do that. I feel like okay, I could take the pearl and bring it to Moon, and she'd have something to say about it. But like, probably just the same as for Saint. I mean, this was basically the same as Saint. I thought that maybe he'd be a little bit less destroyed in this state. A little, like, more capable of speaking. I guess the structure collapsing does most of the damage, and then, you know, just like sitting there in the cold. Didn't really do much after that. Just real quick, I want to check what Moon had to say. I can't just push you in the right direction. I think Moon just says the same thing that Pebble says. Basically. Okay. Like a down spear. Or maybe just like your boost. Whatever. Hole in one, goodbye, Lantern Mouse. I guess I didn't get the shaded, or of course I didn't get the shaded echo. They don't exist. What else? Did I get all the echoes? Sky, farm, chimney, the one here, undergrowth. I guess yeah. Undergrowth is like next on the list of places to go. So I think I'm gonna go shoreline, garbage, undergrowth, subterranean. I think that's my plan. Here's a lot of food. Oh, same mod? This is a precinct mod. Although there's a lot of like world state changes that would kind of suggest otherwise. But this is very close to the Saints, but before. Bit of distance to travel. Am I gonna take the awful shelter? Don't really have any other options. I know a path that I would take in this situation, but I'm not synced. I can't take that path. Yep, I get it. I can't shelter her. I don't have enough food. Overcomplicating shelters. I don't understand how that shelter even functions. If it's in that state, how is it still secure as a shelter? That's kind of how I feel about a lot of the fancy shelters. Like, if you can see outside, then you're not safe. Like, I understand that the 2D camera kind of, like, you could be inside a box, and within that box you're safe, but the camera can just look outside of it. But I feel like it's just more immersive if you're also stuck in the shelter and you can't see anything else, you know? Okay, well, I went a little too early. No, I didn't. I went at the perfect time. Okay, he ducked right under the speaker. I did meet Pebbles, and they acted exactly the same as when you meet him as Saint. So it was not, yeah. No, actually none of those things. I mean, I don't know if you've played Saint, but like, he's kind of like 99% dead. And the nice thing about being an iterator is that he can maximize the amount of time spent in that state. No birds of death, please. I had this idea recently for a game. I'm full of ideas. There's these like old Flash games I would play. There's one that is like deep in my memory where it's like, I don't even remember what the game is about, but there's some vague idea in there. Okay, I guess we're dead. It's like very open. Space is in like top-down view. Nothing. Just open space, and you can fly around in a little spaceship. And it's very like floaty controls, you know, where you can accelerate, but you don't decelerate ever. You just kind of like keep floating in the direction that you accelerate. I was hoping that spear would pin into the wall and I could climb up. It did not work. I think, well, maybe I'm mixing up a few different games here. Another game was like, there were like these like stations, and you could like warp from station to station, but outside of the station, there was like a few other spaceships flying around. There's like a few places you could stop at, but otherwise it was just emptiness. I kind of like that feel. And it made me think, what would a space survival horror look like? And not like, what's that one game? A in Isolation? Not like that, where you're like a person. That's like, I think that entire game, I'm not very familiar with it. I think that entire game takes place in like a space station, and you're like running from this alien thing. Or just trying to like hide from it. I'm thinking this is like zoomed out, you're a spaceship flying around, except, I don't know, there's like Ultra Tours or something out in space, and you gotta like manage your fuel like Among Us, not Among Us, although there is some similarities there. Like resource management is a part of survival horror games, and being stranded out in some random like solar system with like not enough fuel to like make a warp out of there, it's like, well, I guess I gotta like ground around here to get enough fuel to escape, except there's actually like a terrifying being floating somewhere in this solar system. That's the idea, basically. If I made the next burrito bison, you know, I might just do that. I might just make the next game. You know, we've been waiting on a sequel for too long. Okay. I might visit Moon again. I mean, I don't know why. Might have some dialogue. Like, hey, I met Pebbles. I mean, I wouldn't be able to say anything, so. Evergreen refers to the fact that the slug cat is always green and they don't change color when they get cold, like Saints. They're just built different, I guess. And also, you know what's cool about a game in space? You don't actually need to build an environment. You can just use one space background PNG, and there you go. That's the environment done. Doesn't that save a lot of development time? That's the best. That's the best part of the idea. Don't worry about like all the the planets or the space stations or whatever else might actually be the environments, but yeah. Duskers. Part 50 of game recommendations that I don't actually have any interest in. Half of this game is UI. Where's the space? It's probably interesting. If you look at it for more than 10 seconds. Look at that. Anyone play the space game? Like Flash game, Tower Defense. I think it's just called the space game. That one was pretty good. I played that recently and I'm like, this has a lot of potential for expansion. Like they could have made a sequel and it would have been interesting maybe. Very green. I look pretty green in comparison to the environment. I might die doing this. Oh, the bounce off of the Leviathan. And then a second Leviathan shows up and kills me on the other side. That's a twist. Oh, I see. Wait, I probably was totally safe then. If they already ate the jellyfish, they probably weren't going to eat me too. How's the mod going? It's going. Mm-hmm. What's the goal again? I think it's just go to the depth. I think Moon was just like, she basically said the same thing that Pebbles says. Of like, go west and then go down. Which is maybe potentially interesting because, you know, depth is different as Saint. So maybe it's differenter as this character. I might also want to go back to Outer Expanse because there was some stuff there that I didn't explore fully. That was a mistake. A little bit more downwards. Ooh, can I jump up there? I skipped 5 pebbles. How do you know? We want to make dialogue for Moon when you... after you see pebbles. But we don't want to make it seem like she knows everything, so we're going to make her, like, say some vague statement like, oh, pebbles is okay. Maybe this is... actually, I think I just jumped high enough. Oh. Hey, let go of me. She picked up the slime mold I was holding. Yeah, here, Moon. Here's an item for you to tell me about, and it's just yourself. Given that I'm not finished with this mod, I don't want to be too critical of it, but I'm also kind of questioning why this exists. Okay. Well, I did pin the spear. What is the point of this mod? Is this just like a place in Saints world state, but as not Saints? Because you can do that with like Jolly Co-op. And it does make a bunch of changes to the world, but it's like more dirt and roots everywhere. It's like, okay. Outer Expanse was pretty cool. I guess that's like a new region for this kind of world state. Dirt and debris appreciators. I'm not a real Rain World fan. Also, there's probably nothing up here. So something spoiled my Rain World. I wonder what that could be referring to. You're gonna do this? Okay, fine. I'll come back. Is there a shelter here? There's no shelter. Okay, we're going all the way around. This might be a huge waste of time. Usually the other echoes were already active. Maybe it's because I'm not at max karma. Flammable. The rain is approaching. You mean the snow? Are you stupid? I just found my way into that little... Usually, I mean, even if there is still a pipe, if the shelter icon is not there, then you can't shelter. There's that one shelter in Shoreline that, like, it's there for Monk. But the room is always there. You can always enter the shelter, but the icon is not there. Because it's flooded for other characters. Why it's been repaired for Monk magically, like, who knows? Oh yeah, it actually looks like there's echo effects. Yeah, the shelters are alive and they eat bat flies. That's why it's like some creatures die when you shelter. They're being consumed. Please? Okay, it's enough. Yeah, I imagine like an actual like shelter like mechanism would like not survive that long. If anything broke at all, it would not be secure. Like even if just a little bit of water could get in, then it's eventually gonna flood and be like useless. Shelters are sentient. I guess I could check this. Oh yeah, the shelter is here, but it's flooded. Kind of like Star Wars or like some other sci-fi worlds where it's like there's way too many sentient robots, even for like totally like menial tasks that like. Why did you make the sentient or why did you make the robot sentient? All it does is like the same repetitive task all the time. Bitrate is probably super dead. What's the point of robot slaves? That's like the opposite. That's like why you make robots for like manual labor, so that they don't, you know, that people do it. Okay, going to garbage waste now. You mean the green as ever? Yeah. Oh, okay, that works out. My God, you forgot the food. Like, I'm not eating in the water. If I had a nickel for every time someone mentioned ancient Greece today, I'd have 2 nickels. Oh, I can eat the food. Ancient Greece. Ah, I see. Is there a Leviathan? Or is it a jelly? Yeah, it's the jellyfish room. Oh boy. It actually worked really well. This guy's a... Well, no, they can't swim very well. Which is like, you wonder why the orange lizards are in shoreline if they can't swim very well. We're all asking the same thing. Stop jumping into leashes. Bit of a bad habit of mine. Please don't. Ooh. You know, we all know what we want to see here. Nice flip, dude. How do you find the mod? On the workshop. Just search up like Evergreen or something. Thank you, Mr. Leviathan. Unlike a certain bird I know. That bird that I hate. How do I find the mod? As in, how do I find the mod? I don't know. I talked about this a little bit earlier. Um, when you start up the campaign, it gives you this text that's like, how could you not explore a recently collapsed iterator? It's like this slowcat is motivated by curiosity. And then I proceeded to explore the recently collapsed iterator and I didn't find anything, so I don't know. I mean, Moon just told me to go kill myself. Yep, okay. We're back to the regions looking different. I totally failed to do either of the things that I wanted to do. Should probably grab a pearl. And the Evergreen to the wood chipper. Excuse me. Glacial shores. This... Okay. I accidentally threw the pearl. This looks very different. I don't think Saint changes garbage waste at all. I think it's just snow. Snow and there's Miracle Vultures everywhere. There's still bubble fruit here and they just pop immediately. I have a feeling they had to relocate. Actually, they did. Like, damn, all this water. I guess we'll just move it to this slightly higher hill. Really? Let's go up first. Waterlogged blue fruit? Yeah. There's a couple things that maybe shouldn't be underwater, but... Oh, okay. You guys have fun. I think the mod page says it also changes the world state for Saints and Rivulets. So if it's not consistent, it makes it consistent. But the mod makes this consistent. So like this would also look like this for Saints, I guess. That's yeah. Overseers? Were there other overseers? I know the overseer that's been following me looks like slightly more like saturated than the normal pebbles color. Oh, it's just a regular vulture. We take risks. The retcon expansion. A little bit, yeah. I assume this just goes to industrial. That's a lot of water. Yeah, what if we just build garbage waste with water? Yeah, what if we did that? Dude, I don't know if you understand the situation that you're in. Have some spears. There's like a guy up there. But that's somebody more Cyan Overseer. Okay. I failed my roll. Oh, you go that way. Yeah. Like keep walking a little bit. Just like keep going in that direction. Have more spears, I guess. Nice! Little combo. I guess I'll check out the rot area. There is ice. The outer expanse was there. That probably has changed the most. There's a lot of ice in there. I do want to see what the subterranean outer expanse connection looks like. Oh, hi. Oh, so that's how you get that unlocked. You wait for the water level to rise. Okay, they really should have removed all the bubble fruit. I don't like that. Not a fan. Yo, get him. No, you suck. Time to take a nap. That's dangerous. Why are all these creatures here? I understand the eel, but like... Actually, the spider makes sense too, if they actually stay out of the water. Oh man. Okay. Maybe this whole area is just flooded. I guess, like, what did I expect? Yeah, cool. Let's actually just leave, you know? I think I've seen this area enough. There's no rot at all. Which I guess is the same for Saint. Still bubble fruits somehow. Hello. Welcome to the stream. I'm gonna die with Spitter Spider in 3 seconds. By 3, I meant 30 seconds. Oh, those bat flies. Oh, you have food. You're also taking a nap, maybe? Question mark? Yeah, don't don't eat me. I'm covered in spikes. Would not recommend. That's a droplet. Why are you here? Oh, he was trying to drop on me. They were trying to hang out the ceiling. There's just water in the way. Oh, great. I'm covered in spikes. I can tank him. No, actually they're just gonna be horribly slow. Also, I'm covered in leashes, question mark? Yes. There's nothing of interest in garbage waste. Well, it was different. They filled it with water. So surely they can't make undergrowth more overgrown than it already is. I mean, that kind of summarizes this whole mod. It's like, yeah, they changed every room a little bit. Okay. Yeah, slightly before Saints. Pebbles has collapsed, but his music pearl was not, like, corrupted. That's like the most, like, clear placement in the timeline, I think. So presumably, it's basically everything is the same as it is for Saint, except a bunch of time passed. Nothing really changed, but the pearl corrupted. I feel like if Pebbles collapsed recently, the whole, like, ecosystem in Silent Construct wouldn't be as developed. Because there's, like, nothing living in 5 Pebbles until it collapses, and then all these creatures are like, oh, I want to be here for warmth. You know? Like, I can see maybe, like, scavengers being everywhere because they, like, see an opportunity to, like... They see an opportunity in the area. Maybe, like, all the other creatures would be a bit slower. So far, this looks the thing. It looks very overgrown. Yep. Pearls are also not faded yet. I might just head straight to Subterranean then. The big mushrooms. I don't want to. Well, Echo is not active. It feels like the Echo is active. I'll come back here. Hi. Spider zone. I can actually stab these guys like 3 times. They probably won't explode. Once again, I feel like I want to say this. Yes, these things look like mushrooms, but they don't. That doesn't necessarily mean they work exactly the same as fungus in the real world. Maybe they're just the mushroom part. Maybe that's it. And it's basically just like another plant. Because even plants are like... I don't know if I'm just making this up out of nowhere, but I feel like it was explained somewhere that plants and animals are like more similar in Rain World than in real life. Which is why things like pole plants and kelp exist. And they, you know, they're much more mobile than other plants. Because they're not too different than animals. Fungi are actually a universal constant. Look, I mean, there's so many examples of things being different in Rain World. Like, lizards act, like, totally differently. And have, like, armored, like, skulls. Centipedes like use electricity. Spiders can revive each other. And they're also, well, I guess social spiders do exist, but they're not common. Did you eat Moon's Neuron? Yeah, didn't feel like it. Vultures are just weird in general. Like all the birds in the game are like totally like strange. I'm gonna get the echo first. The neurons are out of the brains. The brains are also computers. Poles that like let me traverse the environments. That's crazy. How do I get up here? That works. Oh, how do I get up here? That's the question. Maybe that pipe down there? I guess. Bee stains. Yeah, I should have just done that. I should just like swallow a grapple worm. Yeah, I guess I don't need the echo, you know. Actually, I'm chill. I'll just go this way. Richard Colbert, why are you telling me that already? I'm only in the gates. Also, is this Outer Expanse? Yeah, maybe this just goes all the way around to the top of Undergrowth. There's a serious lack of snails in garbage wastes. I wonder if this is the connection to OE and the submerged one is still broken. Ate the snails. There's Grappler. What interesting stuff? This room right now is the most interesting thing this whole screen. Yeah, keep going in that direction. Actually, I maybe should not have alerted you to my presence. This is funny turret music. I guess I'll go all the way over to their side. No, like, hold on. Keep going in this direction. Just go into a pipe. Oh, maybe. Ah! Yo, this goes crazy. Oh, high shelter. I don't have a food. Can I eat the leeches? Oh, we're here. I've been here. Wait, this just goes outwards. Whoops. My food. Oh, can I not take that path? Wait, I need to get rid of this guy. There's the path. Goes like this. I guess we're going through here again. Yeah, we can go back to sub another time. Please. Okay. If you were like a parkourist, is that what you call it? If you do parkour and there's like water on the floor, like how much water would it take to like interfere with your like parkour? You know that, how they do that thing where they like land in a roll to like absorb some of the impact? I guess at some point it's just jumping into water, but like maybe a little bit of water wouldn't be a problem. It's bad for it took a moment for that to load in, so it just looked like it was just no name for a second. Thank you for this wonderful terrain. This is that room. There's a few places I could go here. I'm stuck here. I took the wrong path. Not even close, so I can take this path. I feel like these fruit don't fit. I guess there's blue fruit for other parts of Sans campaign. Prequel spoilers. That's the sound of rain. I thought I don't do that here. Now we're chill, I guess. Just a prank, you know. Just I wasn't actually gonna rain in this world. A prank. Idiot. Okay, well, we're all the way back in like drainage or something. I mean, if I want to go to outer expanse, I can just like passage. How can this be? I'm very capable of dying. So this place is funny. I think I want to go up to like upper subs first. This area does look void-sea-ish. I just had an idea. I just had a... what if I made a game that was maybe like a platformer, maybe not, I don't know, some form of movement, with some basic like movement mechanics, like environmental things that you can use. And then I made a level editor for that game, and I just gave it out to the world. Said, here you go. Here's how you make rooms. And it's like super simple and easy to use. And then I just like have a bunch of people just make levels, and I just stitch it all together into like a huge world map. And then it's and then you just explore. Mario made no, that's a different thing. This looks a lot like Subterranean. And actually, I think the level edit, well, this would require like internet stuff, so I don't know how much I'd be able to make that. Maybe I'd have like a Google Documents, and you could like say like, hello, I'm gonna add a room to this part of the map. Kind of like actually not at all like that. Never mind. But you basically just say like, I'm going to add this many rooms to this area, and then someone's like, all right, I'm gonna add a room to your area, and so on and so forth. Except we don't actually you don't actually see what the rooms look like, because no one has the game. I have the game. You just have the level editor. So you can make levels and then submit it, but you don't know what the world looks like. So when we're done with this project, we just have like just an open world, except no one knows where anything is. And every once in a while you can be like, hey, I made this section. I made this little room and this little puzzle and so on, you know. You mean Icky? That actually does kind of fit. That's a kind of disjointed game based on what I know about it. So you can have a bunch of different areas and it still kind of fits together. Careful with Nintendo. Has nothing to do with Mario Maker. I feel like there's wind. I don't know what is telling me that, but I feel like there might be wind in this room. No friends? 2 rooms long. Must have been the wind. So this area is normally collapsed. You can't go through this connection. Chasing wind. I suppose I am chasing wind right now. Okay, they just opened it up. What is that symbol? 2, 3? New karma symbol just dropped. Ah, yes. The nothing. This feels like an echo room. That's a death pit, definitely. Damn, they took it in their own hands to fall off the cliff. Ah, it's still gone. I kind of want to know what this looks like from the other side, though. I never went to that area of Outer Expanse. So they did add like 2 rooms just to be like, look how destroyed this is. And we added some wind, just a very subtle like wind effect. Just gotta get the idea across. Farmers exists? It sure does. I guess we can go down. I mean, I can like passage and explore around a bit later. I do only have 1 passage to use. I might need to farm some of those. Okay, day ruined. Surely the cherry bomb will scare them away. Maybe that was like cartoon logic that I'd like bounce off of the centipede like a trampoline. I don't know why the sword cat doesn't just like stab the centipede. Like, oh no, I've been grabbed by this centipede. Time to throw my spear off into the distance. Evil egg. I can't wait to drink this chocolate milk. Tastes kind of dark and twisted. Evil chocolate milk. No one gets that reference. I don't know what it is to like feel the need to reference things that like 3 people in the world have ever seen. It's like gambling. Maybe you'll like hit it big and one person will get it. Like when people in the stream chat mention Hyper Rogue. I'm in a similar situation. Oh, okay. Yeah, I don't really want to hit them anyways. I'm actually... Look at this mod. It's so modded right now. Gambling... I recommend staying away from gambling. I know that's like crazy advice. But really, if you think about it, everything is gambling. We really like it when something is unexpected. Every time you're doing... If you're playing a game and it's boring, you're gambling because you're hoping that it might get interesting. If it was just boring and you were confident that it was boring, or you didn't care about the chance, you would just stop playing because it's boring. But it might get interesting eventually. I did take the wrong pipe. It's been a while, okay? Lethal Company is a kind of boring game, okay? You're just like going into this dark facility, looking for like stuff, bring it back to the ship. But a monster might show up and, you know, cause your friends to like scream. So, you know, you keep playing until you get bored of it, and you know, people don't really play that game anymore. Gamble core theory. I mean, why are games random? Why do games ever introduce randomness? They could just be consistent. It wouldn't really affect most things. When you deal damage to an enemy, why does the damage tend to fluctuate? Why do random crits exist? Using the Wanderer's Crest in Silk Song. But it is annoying. I think like games that use a lot like random rewards a lot. I would rather do one long quest to get an item guaranteed than to do a bunch of quests where any quest might give the random item that I'm looking for, you know? And games really like to have that random item, that like rare drop, because it's gambling. Oh, I'll just fight this boss and maybe they'll drop down that I want and I'll fight him again and again and again. And then it drops and you're hype about it. But that's like what makes it interesting. That's why a lot of games are like super grindy and boring, but people still play them because of those like rare drops. I don't know what to expect. Okay, I didn't expect this. I immediately messing with my expectations. Hey guys, you're chill, right? I've enough karma. They have relocated. Can I go down? I don't know if I want to enter that. Another gravel eater? Gravel eater spoilers? I don't know anything about that mod. Professional. I thought you were gonna say sound designer. Surely this goes up. Okay, add. My left ear really likes the sound design in this game. Okay, I guess I only have one choice. Am I gonna die? No. The Guardians have nowhere left to go. They're stranded. Yo, imagine how much better 90% would be if the depths was like this. Wait, can I go up? This sounds professional. I mean, like sarcasm. It's not actually professional. Can I go to the other? Oh, have I gone too far already? Damn. Me when I'm in Rubicon. Depths if it was peak. So true. When you beat Rain World, they should replace the depths with this. And it's like meta. It's like, wow, time is passing even when you're not playing the game. And every playthrough of Rain World is like more time is passing and the depths like erodes more until it's like in this state and you can do 80% runs without having to go through the depths. Yo, are my ears like bigger when I'm swinging down? Every Rain World playthrough is personalized. What if every Rain World playthrough had its own spot on the timeline? And you would need like 100,000 people to play the game in order to like see like the full progression. You can make like a time lapse of like the world slowly decaying. Yeah, I did that. That was the thing that I did for a bit of like going into the or touching the void sea and then trying to escape the depths. And it's like it's possible, but it's like hard to do it before it rains. So when you get back to the filtration system, it's flooded. So maybe if you set up something with like bubbleweed, you could like escape and get to a shelter. Also, like, the Guardians weren't really guarding anything. Can I just go here straight away? I don't want to do that now. I'm amazed at how high the frame rate is right now. Maybe because there's no screen shake, or because I only ever see people play the depths in like the form of like live stream VODs where like the frame rate and bit rate are like awful. Also, I think it's funny that the devs made the sequence and we're like, hey, the slug guy gets like super stretched out. I guess we'll just leave it like that. Like that's like a feature, like an intended part of the cutscene here. Goodbye. Can I make spears? Yes, but they get teleported away instantly. Was unintentional. I mean, given the physics of the game, it's gonna happen. But everyone notices it. It's like, oh, I'm like, the slug guy's super stretched out right now. I wonder what that was. Are they not gonna show up? Oh, there you are. Kills you by spaghettification. I thought the consensus was that you die the moment you touch the void sea. Well, maybe not the moment, but you basically just melt. And then all sorts of crazy stuff happens after that somehow. It's the radiance. And then the roaring night shows up and cuts the void worm and its peak. Oh, someone make that. I assume that the void bats were a one-time thing. Like, that was a method of ascension. Whoa. Unchanged ending cutscene bingo card. Oh, hi. Suspiciously long black screen. Chasing Winds? Is this... I did not recognize this design. I guess there's no design already, but... Yo mod developers, this is cool. Oh, are they gone? This is cool, but like, adjust the timing of the the frames. feel like this like had something to do with another iterator, considering you already have market communication. Now you play as them. I didn't go to one region. Did I not go to Piper? Average rain world playthrough, not going to Piper. I probably killed like 5 creatures total. Yeah, I did. Okay, enough of this. Very cool arts here. I don't know what this means, and I feel like whenever it comes to the Void Sea, it's hard to understand. Is this like a hallucination kind of situation where it's like, oh, you want to reunite with your iterator friends, so here you go, or is it like the iterator actually ascended? This is actually Sliver of Straw, and they ascended, so we're fighting in the Void Sea. Probably not. I don't know. Or whatever happens for Hunter. When does I press continue? I'm probably just going to be in filtration. I counted every creature I killed. No, that was just a rough guess. We can go to Pipe Yard. I mean, it's kind of close. Thanks, Andrew, who's not associated with this project at all. What is Andrew doing right now? I thought there were other endings. I mean, if there are, then maybe I'd want some direction on maybe where to go. I have no idea what that would be, though. Oh, you're entering this room. I can't wait for Rain World 2, where the entire base game map is... Well, no. Most of the whole base game map would be gone. Chimney would be the new... You're a large fella. No, he got me. Chimney would be the new depths. And there'd be a whole new, like, civilization on top of that. Bam. There's your sequel. Cinema. Rain World 0. Help, I'm being pulled. Pitch black? I did see it. It was not very pitch black. It was actually like really bright. So I don't know what they were going on about. Is this the dead end? Sure is. Not dead end, but not the way that I want to go. Trying to move any faster? Guess you can't really go that direction. Oh, this goes up. Of course. Why didn't I think of this? Nice dodge. Sometimes I think I'm like really smart for thinking of this idea of like there should be another Rain World-like game where you play as a jumping spider because they would be the perfect creature. Except then I remember Webbed exists. It's already basically exactly that game. You know, procedural animation, you play as a little creature. The ecosystem thing is not really a big part of it, but you know, it's more of a platformer / puzzle game. Great. I really wanted to do that. There was that Slugcat that I played that was blind. A little bit disappointed by that mod, because you could definitely see. There was definitely still vision involved when playing that. Crawl from wall climb. I don't do movement tech anymore. Alright. $50 vaults? I don't think any single vault was successful at all. False quitter? You mean those people who are like super like I'm quitting this thing, I'm never touching this again, and then they keep playing it? I mean, this is not a speedrun though. That's definitive. I'm just a casual player. I'm just like press buttons on the keyboard. You know, sometimes I end up doing something crazy. That's not the goal. It just happens. You know. Immeasurable scar. I don't think Spearmaster. Well, I don't know. Maybe it did have the biggest impact. What's a speedrun anyway? Oh, I guess I could use more passages. I don't think about Spearmaster at all, actually. If I can pick up one more pearl. I've actually not thought about Rain World at all in the past like month. That's not true. I mean, it's not like not actively. Like I still look at the Lantern Mouse, the Rain World speedrun Discord. I'm lurking. Although not really. I don't think. Does anyone talk about speedrunning there? I'm always lurking. I'm a certified lurker. I'm actually like uncharacteristically talkative in these live streams. By doing live streaming, I think I've spoken more words on this channel than I have in the rest of my life. Probably by like several times. I don't want to go in this direction. Actually, after careful consideration, I'm choosing to pick something else. What's a clean fall stream? I looked at the update and I wasn't immediately intrigued, and I might just wait for chapter 3. I feel like clean fall might be being pushed in a slightly wrong direction by the community. Because I basically every like time I've played clean fall, except for there's like a couple versions that were like really unbalanced and it just kind of wasn't fun. Like most times I've played clean fall, it was just great. Like this is great. Like when chapter 2 released, I played it and it was like this is a great expansion. And then I just saw a bunch of discussion in the community about like it's too difficult apparently. Apparently, like the mushroom zone is like way too difficult for like most players, so that had to be like they're changing that area up a bunch. Instead of adding the nightmare mode, that was like kind of hinted at like some time ago, they're actually developing like an easy mode instead, and they're maybe adding more checkpoints to the game. That kind of defeats the whole like roguelike thing. I don't know. A little bit concerned. I mean, I'm sure that the end result will be great and there's going to be options for more difficulty, but I think for now I'm just going to wait for the next chapter because exploring new areas is like the best part of the game by far. And I really like the design of like the best thing that the game does is having incredibly unique environments to explore. And the fact that you can only get to those areas by like making it to the end of a difficult roguelike, you know, that's what makes it more like, do you have to go into this pipe? Like you can't just like, oh, here's a new area, let me go explore. It's like I have to like get to the end of a really difficult run to like see what this area is, and I have to be super on edge because anything here might kill me. I don't know what the enemies do. I don't know what the environment does. So far, this looks like Pipe Yard. I don't think I've noticed anything different. I think the roguelike aspect should be focused. There should be more emphasis on that. Less checkpoints, less like conveniences. I want it to be a struggle to make it to the end of the game. I want to get to the final area with like no items left at all and like 2 health. They forgot about Piper. I'm gonna grab a pearl and leave. Because actually, it turns out the game, Clean Fall, is actually really easy once you know what you're doing. Which is like, I think, a good way to design food. It's a good way to design difficulty because it can be challenging. It can be like a very unfriendly environment. But eventually, you will learn how to. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, actually, like, what if I just like stopped? Like, what if I just left? Passive. I think I like the like most creatures in the game kind of ignore you. They kind of do their own thing. There's some enemies where it's like if they see you, then they're immediately a threat, and you need to take care of them, like the stinger guys in the final area, or not the final area, the big open area. I don't know the names of anything. Um, if they see you, they're immediately dangerous. But the fungal area has a lot of guys that just kind of roam around, and I like that. And I think it's fine because then there's the tower defense sections where you are being attacked by a huge swarm of enemies, and it's like, okay, now you need to like protect yourself because everything's being super aggressive. But then for the rest of the day, it's like pretty chill. I'm going to reset the save file, as cool as this art is. I want to see if I can just speedrun to the depths and just ignore the guardians. I guess that's my only theory for what a different ending could be. Because the guardians were like off to the side, but not really in the way. Pipe yard is like, it's whatever. It's some of the paths like industrial to Sky Islands, they're pretty handy occasionally, but it's just like really easy to forget about its existence. By the way, this like room is like one of the best rooms in the mod, and I wish more of the mod looked like this. There's actual like trees. Says the person who plays that game. What is that called? Scab game. Although that game actually looks kind of peaceful too. It's like mostly your own mistakes that cause you to take damage. Although I guess I shouldn't be speaking about it. I don't know. It's more like you can step in any direction and get like horribly injured by like a turret or a trap or whatever, or just falling. But I think there's enough threats. In the red area, there's those like big monsters that if they see you, they chase after you immediately. Where am I? Oh, I'm like up here. There's the big enemies in the first area that chase after you immediately. Like most areas have a standout enemy that is aggressive, and then other enemies are like dangerous if you get close to them, but they might be hiding like those enemies in the fungal area that have all the ore. Like if you want ore in that area, you need to fight those enemies. Yeah, thank you. That's actually a lot of the game. Like if you want resources, if you want to like min-max, you need to like put yourself in danger. But if you want, you can't just kind of like skip everything and just, you know, ignore everything. Maybe that's a bad thing. I don't know. But I think I prefer that. That's like part of the like game knowledge. Like you have to know which enemies are dangerous and which ones you can like easily avoid by just being a bit careful. Wait, it's like the one room with the new lizard. It's super laggy for some reason. The lizard that lags your game. The basilisk. epic PowerPoint presentation. Oh yeah, here's the like ice dropling. And there's like new creatures. They only are in like this little area of outer expanse. I actually forgot they existed. What are kelp doing in this room? You're a big fella. Big dropler. Whoa. Oh, okay, don't do that. Sorry, man. Damn, like. Like Gourmand strategy, like they don't need the claws, they just crush you to death. I'm lost. I thought I'd be in a different room. Oh, I guess that's the room. Also, scavengers are no longer nice. That's right, I've got shields. I'm so glad that scavenger threw at the lizard and not me. I guess you have some awareness of what's actually dangerous. I think you're just a little too comfortable with games that want you to suffer constantly. And Cleanfall is still pretty difficult for most players. I think part of the game being too easy is the fact that it lets you build a ship and fill it with a trillion turrets and just be completely safe and like just not in any danger at all. And the fact that it's actually like a recommended strategy, like there's a tutorial for it when you get to that area. Like, all right, here's where you build a ship, and you'll no longer die once you are surrounded by a ton of walls and turrets. Also, because I just am not a huge fan of that kind of gameplay. It's kind of fun to build a massive death machine, you know, once. Or maybe was that because I was familiar with enough with the game to know how to like upgrade my turret range and damage to the point where like I didn't take much damage, so I could use all my resources on offense, and then my turrets just kind of destroyed everything automatically. Maybe. I guess actually I should take the other route to go to or no, it's the same area. This area goes to outskirts and to I didn't see you. I'm so glad I'm covered in spikes. You're so fat you didn't even fit through the pipe. Sorry. Don't think scavs can sense what's dangerous. Yes. I mean, I expected the dropwing to follow me through the pipe, and they didn't. I had one explanation for that. I don't know what the karma requirement is for this gates. I might have to farm food. I might want to farm food in advance because I'm kind of at low karma. I remember the gates that I saw were like super low. I don't know about the one that connects to undergrowth. Eat that, centipede. There's plenty of food. Who changed the color palette? Green water? Blue water? It makes sense. It really feels like these spears do no damage at all. Oh, don't fall. Okay, that works. I guess I'm not really sure how the difficulty of Clean Paw has changed. Considering that I've improved at the game and it's gotten easier. Maybe like if the game stayed the same as like difficulty, maybe I wouldn't notice. And I don't really want it to be difficult. I want the new areas to be difficult. When the next chapter releases, I want to struggle with that. But I feel like I've already learned how to pass, you know, the difficulties of the earlier areas. And I'm sure that Nightmare Mode will bring back all of that difficulty that you're looking for. Although I don't know, probably like there's probably quality of life changes that are going to stick around. I don't think removing quality of life for the sake of difficulty is very fun. Me when I'm on my way to that one portal in Badlands. Oh yeah, you get like way more walls per wall. I mean, it definitely was like a janky mess. Ship building is not a exact science. It is just put stuff together until you're like surrounded in walls and turrets. Most easy terrain to navigate in Rain World. There's actually a word for that. It's called easiest. Or the opposite of that, hardest? I forget everything. I think there might be a threat in this room. I might think there might be a shelter in this room. Where was it though? Map? Okay, I have a feeling there's not a shelter. Okay, well, fastest death from a kelp ever. The music does not help. Hey, at least I had a karma flower to protect my karma. I have to go back there. I was split between like using the spears to throw boosts and using them to kill the kelp. But I missed I missed both actually. I guess I never really thought about Cleanfall as being a difficult game. It was definitely strange. It's unique. I mean, it's an interesting thing that happens sometimes. If you're let's say there's a movie and you really like this movie, like super unique, and it does things that like no other movie does. Like, wow, this is a really good movie. Or maybe not even like it's a good movie, but like it's just like you resonate with it really well. So you're like, all right, hey guys, can you recommend more movies like this one? Or maybe you don't even ask for recommendations. Maybe you just like search for like similar genres or whatever. It's like, okay, I'll watch this movie instead. But then it's different. It's like it's like a wider appeal. It doesn't have that special bit that made that first movie so special to you. But it's actually a good movie still. And if you watch that one first, you probably say this is a good one. But your expectations were set by that first movie that has something special, and you were looking for that one special thing. You weren't looking for whatever else the movie has. So you kind of come out of it being disappointed, even though it was still good. It just didn't have what you were looking for. Oh, now the big centipede's here. Great. That's some discussion like around Minecraft has been like that. Minecraft and Vintage Story is very much about that kind of a feeling of like people got into the earlier versions of Minecraft because of the like challenging like survival gameplay, it was a very like hostile kind of game in the earlier versions. You couldn't sleep through the night. You couldn't sprint. Everything was way darker. Probably still wasn't like extremely difficult, but like that was like people were thinking, oh, these like future updates are gonna like add more challenging, survival situations. They're gonna like add this experience. But then it ended up becoming like more friendly, more quality of life features and so on. So we were like, okay, we're just gonna make our own games, mods that bring that back, bring back that feeling. Vintage Story is very much about that kind of struggle to survive. But if Vintage Story didn't exist, if these mods didn't exist, then people would just be left without the thing that they enjoyed in the first place. Like I enjoyed this version of Minecraft where it was a difficult survival game, and now that's just gone. Or you can go back and play the old versions, but they won't have received years and years of updates like the modern versions have. And if you're a fan of a very niche like kind of genre, like especially games that are like particularly unfriendly to their players, like naturally that's gonna have a pretty small audience. And if a developer is making a game for that audience, for the people who enjoy those challenging games that are not very nice to the player, then what if something else about the game is appealing, like the art style or the story or something, then a whole new audience shows up. They're like, this game is really cool, but it's so difficult and unfriendly to the player. Can you change it and make it more like quality of life features and such? Suddenly the developer has a whole audience that is looking for completely different goals, and you have to make the decision of like, do I stick with my original plan and appeal to a much smaller part of the audience? And people will probably want you to compromise. Like, oh yeah, you can still you can actually just add like an easy mode. You can keep your like hardcore like whatever experience, but just add an easy mode for the rest of us. But then the average experience, like someone plays the game for the first time and everyone's like, please play easy mode. It's way more approachable for new players. They don't have that experience that was intended by the developer. Deja vu. Oh my goodness. Okay, this is interesting music. I don't think it is super fitting. It's the one snail. He's back. Please. How did that miss? He was right in front of me. Actually, a very similar thing has happened with Rain World. The differences between, Downpour and base game. And, look at which one was, like, much more popular. Silksong too, actually. Silksong or Hollow Knight is fairly difficult. Maybe you can call it a Souls-like. I don't know. Oh shoot! Can I get out of this? It's a kind of difficult game. Especially, you know, all the people who stuck around in the community doing speedruns and the Pantheons. And it was that community that hyped up Silksong so much. And eventually Silksong kind of like, its reputation as a game that hasn't released in forever kind of outgrew the community. So, you know, lots of people heard about Silksong and got excited about this game. Although I think a lot of people did play Hollow Knight before Silksong, even if they only heard about it from the hype, and they probably did get into it. Okay, there we go. I can't pin. I felt like there was a bit of the, you know, Silksong kind of reached a much wider audience than was expected, so a lot of people are like, hey, this game is too difficult. This game is a Souls-like. Just because it was so hyped up. I feel like as a potentially creative person, I don't really know how to consider myself. I feel no motivation to make things that are already popular. Look at what the AAA studios are doing. Look at what's like. Look at the things that get attention. I'm like, why would I want to make this? If I'm gonna spend so much effort into making something, I'm gonna make it original. I'm gonna make things that don't exist already. There's already a billion games that look exactly like the same. I'm not gonna make one of those. I'm gonna make something unique. And that's usually like it's why like RPG Maker games all look like bizarre, because they try to stand out by having a unique art style. I guess it kind of worked. Well, good thing there's so many centipedes for me to eat. Actually, I wonder if they're in the shelter. Maybe I can eat them. I don't think there's enough food here. No. I want the shelter to close automatically so I can eat the centipedes, but I might be a little bit stuck here. I guess there's some blue fruit and undergrowth. Kind of sucks to be in this position. Can I karma cash? Hold on. Hold on a second. I'm not restricting myself. I'm not playing bingo. I mean, if you want to make what people want you to make, you're gonna end up making, or it's gonna be something that's more like, has a wider appeal. But things that have wider appeal are also like more common. I feel like it'd be better, it'd be more worthwhile to make something that's unique, that's for a specific audience, because they aren't going to, that audience is not going to receive what they're looking for that often. Ideally, success would be irrelevant. Ideally, you can make a game that has like a very small player base, and it would be like totally fine and not a problem at all. Also, we're back to loading times taking forever. That's fun. Last stream, I had to reset my computer because everything was super slow after playing this mod, so that's fun. And then there's games like Balatro where it's like some guy just wanted to make a game for himself and maybe his friends to play, and it accidentally just became. I mean, I don't know how much to believe that story. There's way too much like polish in that game. They probably made it as a small I mean, I guess I'm not too familiar with the development. They probably made it as a small project just for themselves, and then people were like, "Hey, this game is really good. You should make this like a bigger thing." And they're like, "Okay, I guess I'll put in a little bit more effort into the visuals and the music and so on." So there should be enough fruit on the other side of the gates to shelter just to lock in this level of karma, because I don't want to get stuck on the other side of the gate if I end up dying. Maybe I have, by making Rain World my main thing, I've misled people about my preference in games, because Rain World is not that representative. I don't actually actively seek out suffering. Easy misconception to make about Rain World players. Those sound like really cool games to watch an hour-long video about. That's like, hey, this game is really cool. That's actually my experience with most media. Okay, so I don't know if this will work. The Guardians might have like a really long range and just kill me anyways. And Nima. I'll have a gander. Oh, yep, my computer is really slow. You thought you were done with the memory leaks, but we're back stronger than ever. Okay, this game actually looks sick. This is like a reassembly. I might actually check this out. I like reassembly. I don't know if I've talked much. I feel like I've talked about this game, but reassembly bothers me a little bit. That for all sorts of little things, but if you want to, bullets are too slow. If you build a very large ship, it takes a long time for the guns at the back of your ship to reach the front of the ship, and then to reach the enemy that you're shooting at. So missiles are like way more reliable because they're homing in really long range, so why not just spam missiles? And that's just kind of the meta strategy all the time. Just missile spam. I'm not here. Don't worry about me. I hope this goes down. Oh, it sure does. Maybe. Question mark. Am I not? Don't give me a false sense of hope. Damn. Really? I was like, oh, there's another path. Therefore, it's possible to skip the Guardians. Really? Damn. I guess I should have checked this. I was like, oh, I guess this also goes down, but I guess I want to see what's over here instead. The map doesn't line up exactly, though. Well, that's too bad. I assume the Guardians will still not like my presence. But I've already touched the void fluid. I can go the other direction? Damn, invisible walls got hands. Well, surely... Okay, I don't think I can continue. Actually, they're chill. They're chill like that? It's because there's no doors in this room? They're like programmed to like keep you away from pipes? Okay, never mind then. I see you. Thanks for stopping by. I love swimming down. My favorite part of the game. I feel like the Guardians, me getting past the Guardians was unintentional. I don't know, I'll have to see if there's any differences to this cutscene. The karma symbol is flashing, but that just happens naturally in Downpour. If you get here without enough karma. It's for Artificer. What's up? It's been 30 minutes. Could have been a lot shorter if I didn't die a bunch. They're still grabbing me. Was about to grab me again. Oh yeah, this was really buggy. The speed boost. Imagine some like task grab, like getting one of the fast ones to push you forward. Sure, that's possible. I feel like it's going to be exactly the same. The music is still playing quietly. I don't know if this is like the cutscene being messed up or like my game being messed up. Maybe it's like trying to load in the next frame, but it's like, it's lagging. I think this is the same. I think it is kind of interesting seeing that little like extra path I could have taken in the void or in the depths, even though it was not actually a real path. But Guardians let you through anyway. Don't worry about that. I just kind of think it's kind of interesting, the idea of like a key. Like imagine a game where it's like the whole premise of the game is you need to get this key. Like travel to the four corners of the world and collect the things, and then you can do this and that, you know? But it turns out if you just go to the door, there's like actually like a secret path that just skips it. And it like totally like throws everything out of whack because you weren't just trying to get the keys, you were trying to, you know, do like progress the plot. You know, there's like a story that could have happened. Or like character development or like world state changes. But you just skip all that and suddenly you're at the end and like entirely different ending plays out because of that. I guess that's like Breath of the Wild. But that game is kind of like inconsequential. Like doing all the like side stuff like gets you better equipment and like removes half of the final boss's health and that's it. I forget if the true ending stuff. Actually, I don't really remember. Anyway, that's this mod done, I think. I don't know. There might be other content I missed. I think this mod is pretty cool. I really liked Outer Expanse. Some of the regions looked really good with the visual changes, but also it was kind of inconsequential. Like, there's a bunch of debris, dirt and debris and roots, and that was it. And I just kind of went through Saint's campaign. I even visited the Echoes, even though they did have new dialogue, but like, I don't know, vague echoey dialogue. And then Pebbles was kind of disappointing. Like I thought, like here's the Actually, I don't know if I can show this. I think if I go to a new save file. Maybe it's just like a challenge, like a platforming challenge. Like you're not Saints, so you can't grapple, so climbing up Sonic Construct is really difficult. Maybe there was some other things that I could have done to Pebbles. Not a fan of whatever this mod does to my computer. Here we are. Cliffy Wanderer's coat conceals an array of sharp quills. Your journey will be one of curiosity as you simply cannot bear to not explore the recent superstructures collapse. Okay, so exploring 5 pebbles was the goal from the beginning. And what did I find? Nothing. It was the same as it was for Saint. Maybe if I go play Saint, it will be different. Like Rivulet, like... Let me do this real quick. I don't know how quick I can make progress as Rivulets. Apparently there's some world state changes here as well. Maybe I can get to Outer Expanse or something. Normal Socket design. I didn't really mention it at all. That mod has a very uniquely designed character. I feel like, you know, Slugcats are pretty standardized. They don't really need to look all, like, fancy like that, but, I mean, I guess I don't really mind too much. Like, the eyes were way bigger, the eyes and ears. Off model, yeah. But it's not a huge deal. Like, I know there's a lot of people who play with mods that change the designs of the Slugcats. I don't know what would be different about rivulets. Maybe I'll just check out... I don't know. Garbage waste? I guess I can go to garbage waste. That was pretty different. With the mod, maybe Outer Expanse will be open. Oh, the loading time is still here. Hello. Welcome to the stream. I might be ending pretty soon, I don't know. Forget how much karma you need for garbage waste, I think it's pretty low. Hey guys, do you want a pearl? Grab enough food to shelter. Some person's gonna be watching me play this mod and be like, why do you have to play this mod and not like the 30 others that are like better than this? I don't usually play modded campaigns. I did play Droughts. I played a couple modded slug cats that were just the slug cat, but in the base game world. Mechanically, this one wasn't that unique. It was Spearmaster, but you're also like Survivor. You know, you could create spears, but they're super weak, so they're like hardly worth using in combat. I did like the like bite protection though. I feel like that'd actually be a cool character, just based on that idea alone. Like, there's a playstyle for Gourmand where you purposely get bit by lizards to then stab them, and it should deal the full damage, like the full 3 damage spear, but you don't get tired from it, right? And Gourmand can't die to the lethal bites. But you know, mouse or like parries like that are like a little bit inconsistent. Oh, so this is different. This is like flooded garbage wastes. Right, so this mod kind of messes with timeline stuff, but it's actually it changes the other campaigns as well. Like, this is before Saints. Why is the world more decayed? Well, it's just because they wanted to do that. Yeah, they filled garbage waste up with water. Let's go to industrial, I guess. Maybe that looks different. Yo, hold on. First try. Garbage Shores. It just has a new name entirely. I think it was some name like that for Evergreen. Actually better suited for rivulets. Just kidding. It sucks to swim as rivulets. Oh! I didn't see this room. Rusted Gardens. That's also just an entirely new name. Is that a green? Tell me that's an eel and not a green. No, that's just the green lizard just drowning down there. Maybe they could have tweaked the creature spawns a little bit more alongside the terrain. Like, potential is crazy. Why is it threat music? Yeah, more dirt and debris and water. What kind of movement is that? Man, Rivulet is so fun. Imagine if Rivulet was like a platformer game and not Rain World. And that'd be, imagine how great that'd be. Also, where's the creatures? They all drowned. There's like an eel down there. There's an eel right here. Rain just had more trash everywhere, yeah. It's a burning question, like every time I play Rain, like, man, there's just like, there's just more crap, more trash. My dream has finally been realized, like. I can't even do a slide pounce there. I believe Chimney was mostly unchanged. I guess the egg shaded, well, that's how the map is probably unchanged. But we found the pink room. The red room? Rain damage percent. They removed a lot of creatures, actually. At least it feels like that. Some center wings here and there. It's about to rain. Some eels, some salamanders. I mean, it's an interesting way to make a mod, I suppose. Like, forget making new regions. Let's just change every other region and make it look more like this. I could probably do like a whole riveted run, and it might be a little bit different, but I think I probably won't do that. I'll check out Outskirts, and then I think I'll head out. Maybe there was some expectation for a new region, specifically like a foresty region, because forests don't really exist in Rain World. That could have been cool. Maybe it does exist. Some corner of the map there's a whole like forest region. Maybe you should go like left of Outer Expanse somehow. Maybe it's too cold for that. I don't know. This feels like. I was gonna say this feels modded. Obviously, it's modded. This feels like something specific. Is that like alpha Rain World kind of feeling? Yeah, but here's the poles, like sideways poles. They don't exist in just one place. Oh, here's the fake block. There's a couple of those in Outskirts. Yeah, there's more plants. Think there's a pearl here still? Absolutely. I guess maybe Saints World State just kind of made everything look cold and dead. What a surprise. Who could have guessed? Everything looks cold and dead when you're playing Saints. The whole point of the campaign. It's orange all of a sudden. Pasture bogs. Yeah, more renaming base game regions, please. It's very orange. Oh, it's raining now, so. Fall update. Zoomies? He just got realized. Now I'm kind of wondering if you're gonna make a mod to like add more add more nature. Why pick the campaign that's like cold and dead? Look at all this like lush greenery. Actually, we're gonna kill it all with the cold. And now it just looks like piles of trash. Anyways. That'll be the end of the stream. If it ever wants to... If it wants to... Okay, thank you. Yeah. Thanks everyone for watching. See ya.